How are you doing today? I just want to first welcome everybody to our Authors Day event, May 25th. It's also doubling as our very first Content Creators Live. So, our very first Content Creator Showcase is now. So, welcome everyone. And I would like to thank our author who is with us today, Belinda Amerman.
Amerman?
Amerman.
Yes.
Why don't
Well,
you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
okay. I have been writing since I was 19, and mainly journals. The inspiration came when I was in college, and it was in an interim class that my instructor had invited me to participate in, and it was for all, maybe 20 other students who he thought would make good writers. So from there, I started journaling and wanted to write stories, and was rejected a lot. But what does a 19-year-old know, you know?
Right, right.
So I went to college there 2 years, went to another college another semester, and then went to another college for another semester. And I thought, I'm spinning my wheels. So I stopped, went to Colorado, and worked at a ranch. It was a dude ranch where the owner took people on pack trips up into the mountains, and I got to go as cook. And
Oh,
I wrote poetry up there. It was very lovely. I spent a year in the mountains, and that's pretty. It got cold,
I bet.
but fast forward to when I was in my 30s. I decided it was time to finish a degree, and I had a little girl I needed to raise. So I finished up a degree in journalism, and that took me to Western Nebraska, where I worked 9 years on a small small daily newspaper. And when I was there, I met a lady named Connie Stairs, who was a Lakota uh, woman, but she followed her heritage, did lots of research. She was related to Crazy Horse, who, if anybody knows anything about the Sioux religion, he was their leader. And it is the legend has it that there's never been a photograph taken of him. So people who think, well, there are pictures of him, they're wrong. When I met her, she told me many stories about her life, and her father, whose name was Mark. He had a feeding program where the Lakota people living in white society in this town where I worked could come and have lunch without paying, because they were hungry. He said his quote is, this program is for anyone who declares hunger. And so I wrote a story about that. He also was able to, through donations, provide Christmas parties and July 4th parties. And Connie told me so many stories, I had to write them down. And by that, and I wrote positive stories about her and her family for the newspaper, which to her meant I was very brave, because I'm a white woman. She was Sioux, and the way they were treated in the town was quite quite bigoted, and it bothered me so much.
Right.
And I learned from another book called The Help, and that author said her publisher told her, write about something that bothers you but nobody else. So I thought, well, that's me. Because I wrote and stories about her family, positive stories for the newspaper, they appreciated it so much that when my husband and I were transferred for him to take a job with the railroad in another town, they had a going away party for me. They had singers come, and her father adopted me into their family and presented me with this quilt. A star quilt is a very special honor,
It's
very
beautiful.
humbling, and gave me some moccasins that I haven't ever worn. But along the way, I discovered a ghost story that happened in that town. And so I put them together into a novel called Prairie Spirits. Oh, it's backwards. Oh, well.
Oh, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Oh,
I
you
could see
saw
it.
it?
Yeah, no, show it again. Show it again.
Okay. Yeah, this was the novel that came out of that. And it took 30 years of sending it out old style. You know what I mean by old style: stamp address, self-addressed stamped envelope, postage inside and outside, and what synopsis, author biography, that kind of old style thing that
All
took,
of that.
you send it off and 6 weeks later you get it back. Send it off, 6 weeks later you get it back.
Right.
Well, with the advent of the internet, you get rejected a whole lot faster.
It saves time, I guess.
Yeah, it saves things. But there are some links that I discovered called manuscript wants that can be emailed right to your email and query. And I can't remember the name of it, but where you can go and find out what authors, what publishers and agents want, and then you can
Right.
kind of narrow down the places you want to send to get rejected. Well, anyway,
We focus on the positive.
well, yeah, I wanted to. You believe me? Along the way, I met on Facebook, as a matter of fact, I met an author who had a novel published by an outfit called Level Best Books, and I submitted there and was rejected. But she encouraged me to make lots of friends and authors through Facebook. By doing that, I met another woman who was putting together an anthology and it was called Tales from the Golden State of Mind. And I sent it to her. I told her, I have a story. She said, well, send it. And that's a long story. Short story was I took bone density drugs for too long and both my femurs broke.
Oh
And
my
I wrote a story about that. For my church wanted a testimony, and I can't, as you can tell, I can't talk off the cuff very easily. But so I wrote it all down. And so I sent that story to her and she put it in her anthology. Through that, I met a man named Terry Shepard, who's an author, and he has his publishing company is called Ramirez and Clark. And he said, I can help you. So I went with him, and through him, I was able to get the cover. Let's see, got it edited, I got the cover design. This lady who did the cover design, uh, Karen Hall, all I did was send her a link to uh, uh, a saint, a Native American saint named Takawitha. And with that and a few little designs of uh, oh, little designs like this,
Mm-hmm.
she sent me 3 possibilities, and that was it. That was she was as if she was in my mind. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
sent them all to Terry. He put them together, and he said, "Okay, they're ready. All and to go on Amazon, all you have to do is press the live button," and I did.
There you go.
And
There you go.
there I was am now a published author.
I mean, I remember that feeling that very first
Oh
time when you
my
push that
goodness.
button, you're like, ah, yes, I remember that. It's the
It
best feeling.
changed my mind. I was no longer just a writer. I'm now a published author.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. So what type of advice would you have for other writers who want to be published authors? Like, what
I'll
advice would you give them?
find the place. It's called Query Tracker. I just thought of it. And Manuscript Wants. And there you can find agents and publishers what they're looking for. And even though it's there, it still won't be easy. You
Yeah.
know, I wanted to do this, wanted to be published for 30 years. I mean, I was a newspaper writer, of course, but I had to raise my little girl.
Mhm.
And but that gives you writing experience, not just journaling, but writing things that you like, writing about things that you don't care about, but you have to you follow the inverted pyramid, the journalism style. You write the most interesting part first, and then go down. Well, that's for newspaper. For the internet, I don't know what kind of style they use. I have
I
to.
mean, they still, I mean, if you don't catch people right off, like in the
Yeah,
first line, they're
yeah,
gone. So,
yeah. They and some of the news apps I look at, it says it's a 4-minute read. Okay, I'll decide that. If I don't
right.
find out what I want to know, halfway down, you've lost me. And
It's
they
like,
don't,
bye.
but they don't care. They don't
They
care.
don't. They
No,
don't.
no. Good writing starts with good thinking, and you have to be an original thinker.
Right.
And that, I don't know if you can learn that, or if you can just stay off the wall about a lot of stuff. A lot of times I'll be thinking something and I'll just say it, and someone will say, usually it's my husband, he'll say, "I've never heard that before." And I'd say, "Well, I just thought of it."
Honestly, I don't, I think that it's better if you're a writer, if you don't have a filter, because then
Mm.
you can practice this stream of consciousness,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah.
the biggest asset for you
Mhm.
if you are a writer, is to just not have a filter at all.
That's where the journaling comes in. If something in life is just ticking you off and you just want to go twist somebody's neck, you go to the blank page, put it
Right,
down.
right. You don't know how many times people ended up in one
Right.
of my stories.
Mm. Mhm, mhm. And someone I don't like, I'll turn him into a murderer, or I'll kill him.
So, I'm so glad that you were able to come today and talk to
Oh,
us about your process. Like, is there anything that you want to say specifically to the watchers, your readers, the audience, before because I can exit stage and let you have it for the
oh
rest of
no,
your
I
time, which is
prefer
about 9 minutes.
no, I like you there. So
Oh,
you can go ahead and say, really, really sweet.
I like you there
You're
too.
doing this. I'm so thrilled that you found me. But
You know what? I feel like when you have a certain way of living life and certain
mhm,
interests and just a way of
mhm,
putting yourself out there, then
mhm.
the right people will find you.
Well,
and then you will find I call it finding your tribe. That's what I call it. I
hey,
call it
all
finding your
right.
tribe.
Yeah.
You're my tribe.
Yeah, yeah. My sister. Yeah, my Lakota sister would approve. Yes, she
There you
would.
go. There you
Um,
go.
had a thought I was going to give you. What interests you? Oh no! Don't stop learning. I'm 75, but you don't ever stop learning. There's always something new to learn about. Um, I've learned about guns. I've learned about hunting. I've learned about birds, and I've learned about photo. Well, I was a photog. I'm a photographer also. But
Right.
do you have? Are you lined up for other writers? Do I need to sign
Um,
on?
no, you still have like about, I would say 5, 6 more
Okay.
minutes.
Okay.
Actually,
Let's.
one of the commenters is retired, I believe, General William
Oh,
Stevens.
ah,
He was actually on our last Authors Day.
oh,
So he's
great.
commenting now. He came to support, so that's awesome.
Well, that's great. Yes, and I'm interested in the military and past wars, World War One and World War Two. And the uh, the Holocaust. That
Right,
just I cannot wrap my mind about the horrific things the Israel the Jewish people went through during that time.
right,
So, and the information is right in front of me. I can find out
right.
just about anything that I want to learn about. So,
There you go.
yeah,
There you
I'm
go.
very thankful to have met you, Kay, and I really do want to participate in the next thing that you mentioned. It was the books galore.
The books galore. The first
Yes.
one is next week. I actually wanted
Oh,
to secure you.
really?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, next week, let's see. I'll have to get with our calendar to make sure
Right.
we've got some medical things we have to deal with my husband. But um, yeah, would love to do that. I'd love to see your face again. Where are you from in Wisconsin?
Well, right now in Wisconsin, I'm sort of like in a very rural area. But the closest place, I would say, like maybe I'm an hour away from Madison.
Oh,
You won't
Madison.
you won't even know where I trust me. The
Okay, we have
places
a friend who lives in Baraboo, and
in Baraboo.
yeah, but he's a trapper, and he goes up to Alaska and does trapping and that kind of
Right.
thing. That's the thing. Have a wide spectrum of friends who know things, and so you can pick their brain.
Right, right. So the other thing that I want to announce is that I am now opening up a very special group for past authors who have been on the page for us all to network, and we'll be putting out newsletters and
Oh,
resources so that you guys can learn how to better advertise your books to your
oh,
readers.
wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a Facebook friend named Debbie Haston. Every Saturday, get on Facebook and she says, "Okay, it's Saturday. Post those links." So
exactly.
you can I post my link to her because she's not there to try to sell me anything. Just like you're not trying to sell me anything. She just wants to encourage authors, and that's such a worthy cause. It's very
Right.
worthy. Thank you
Yeah,
so
no,
much.
I'm all about like networking and
Hmm.
basically just making friends in the community. Like
Hmm.
that's what I
Hmm.
like to do. I like to network, make
Hmm.
friends.
Hmm.
Because I feel like if you have a strong network of friends
Hmm.
within the author community, within the
Hmm.
content creating community, because
Hmm.
we're all
Hmm.
on here to try and,
Oh, sure.
reach people and
Uh-huh.
try to connect with readers, connect with the
Uh-huh.
people who see our work.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
feel like that builds a stronger bond, like when
Yes.
you have connection.
Yeah, the name of my novel is called Prairie Spirits, and I'm working on another one. My husband is proofreading it because he's the best proofreader I've ever met, and it's called Secret of Bounty Ranch. And I'm
There you go.
thinking I'm going to be get it to Terry and my cover artist sometime this summer, maybe fall. But I don't want to pressure him because he when he proofreads, he's like he's in his zone. So,
Right, right. Okay. Well, I just want to thank you so much
oh,
for joining us, and I will connect with you.
thank you, Kay. And you're cute as a bug.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you.
you
Thank
are.
you.
How old are, see, this is no filter. How old are you?
I'm 42.
No, you can't.
I am. I'm
No,
42.
no. Bless
Yes,
your
I am.
heart, and I will pray for you. We are both my husband and I are very devoted Christians in a little church, and so
Yes.
um, my prayer list gets long, but you're on it.
Amen. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm how do you say? I'm in one of the Church of Christ churches congregations down here where I live.
Oh yeah, the Church of Christ. I went to a Church of Christ, and the singing was just quite exuberant because you didn't have to have instruments.
You know what? They sing with passion and they sing to
Mm-hmm.
God. That's what they do.
That's what they do. Yep. Well, thank you so much. It was a work of the Lord that brought us together.
Amen.
And,
All right. I'm gonna let you go because we have
okay,
about
well,
2 minutes to the next author.
hey, and bless all the authors in your lineup.
All right. Thank you. I hope that you'll be able to stay a little while. If I
Oh,
know you
okay.
have to go, but
Well, I can stay a little while. Yeah,
okay.
and I can listen to what the others say. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You just, you can watch from the page,
Oh,
like
okay.
when you go to the page.
Okay.
All
Ta-ta.
right. Thank you
As they
so
say in
much.
South Africa. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you guys for watching. We are about to bring on the next author again. I want to thank everybody for joining us for our May 25th Authors Day event. This is actually doubling as the very first Content Creator Showcase 2025. So if you will give us 2 minutes, we will be transitioning into the next author.